Hey there, welcome to Authentically Raw. I'm your host, Jamie Berris. Are your positive affirmations toxic? So the whole point of positive affirmations like I am worthy, I can do it, I'm brave, I'm confident, I've got this, I'm beautiful, whatever it is they are meant to rewire your subconscious mind, create new pathways, increase your emotional intelligence, all of this so that we can step out into the world and be all of those affirmations that we keep telling ourselves, right? It's these beliefs that we truly want to believe because it does drive our behavior. But the question is, do you believe them? Because the point of these positive affirmations is to change those limiting beliefs that you already have stored in your subconscious mind. And you want to change them into this empowered knowledge, I like to call it empowered knowledge, because you want these beliefs to take root, right? It's new knowledge, and you want that new knowledge to empower you to think different, behave different, manage your emotions, and regulate your emotions. So do something different that offers a benefit in your life. So I'm going to ask a few more questions. Do you want to rewire your subconscious mind, create those new pathways, and increase your emotional intelligence? And I'm going to say your only answer to all of this is yes. Yes, you do. Because otherwise, there wouldn't be any point in saying these positive affirmations or the whole thought behind thinking positive. And pretty sure everybody's heard your thoughts create your reality. So that is what we're going to talk about today. Because if we want to unhook from all of I'll say that stored gunk in our subconscious mind and get rid of these beliefs that block and limit us, we can't just say positive affirmations because it takes more than that. We have to put some actionable steps with it. We have to do something with the emotions and the feelings that we already have stored in our body and create some new ones based on what we want to believe, what those affirmations are. So it's very important and very imperative to get rid of our fear-based beliefs that are stored in our subconscious mind. That way these new affirmations can take root into our subconscious mind, which does drive most of our behavior. Our conscious mind thinks, I want to do this. And your subconscious mind thinks, well, we need to do this. And that is why you find yourself doing things that you know you don't want to do, that you'd rather be doing something different instead. So I hope you're following along here. This might maybe next go into a whole podcast about the subconscious mind. But first, those beliefs that are preventing you from being the real you, right? The real you, the one that the world needs is the real you, is being held back by these old stored beliefs that are blocking you in your subconscious mind, right? They're driving you to do things that you don't want to do, stopping you from doing what you do want to do. And those beliefs cause you to store emotions like anxiety, overwhelm, anger, frustration, whatever it is. And they provide zero help in your growth process, like whatsoever, none. So I'm going to walk you through a little practice, and it's a tweak on the positive affirmations because I think that they can be pretty toxic if we don't have we need to outsmart them a little bit. And this practice takes them up a notch because we can say things 1,000 times, and if we don't really believe it, it's not going to do a whole lot in our lives. So this practice, if we do it consistently, that's the key word here, done consistently, so daily, can help you wipe out those stored beliefs from your past experiences that are holding you back in your present moment right now. Because when you think different about yourself, you feel different about yourself. And when you feel different about yourself, you act and behave differently. And you act and behave in ways that help you, not harm you. And so I want to just talk about the term learned behavior, because I'm sure everybody's heard of learned behavior. And it basically just refers to how you act and behave right now because of your past experiences. So your learned behaviors are a result of your good experiences, your bad experiences, and it causes you to behave a lot of times just by habit right here in the present moment. And it's kind of driven by that subconscious mind, even though your conscious mind is thinking, I don't want to do this, or it's thinking, I do want to do this, and then you're doing something different. So all of your experiences, think of it this way, they're stored in your body and it's stored in your mind. So if you had good experiences, which we all have had all these good experiences, right? Then we store those blueprints and that drives us to think and act in ways that serve us. It creates those good habits, good ways of thinking, good ways of, feeling these good emotions and knowing what to do with them. And then we also have these bad experiences that we haven't worked through and we haven't resolved the emotions that go with them. And we have these stored blueprints that drive us to think in a certain way and act in a certain way based on those negative emotions. And it's all these fears that are stuck in our minds, our subconscious mind, and in our bodies. So when we have like these good experiences, it creates these good habits. When we have negative experiences, and if we don't resolve those, it will cause us to have bad habits, right? Think of addictions, things like that. Addictions start and are fueled by unresolved negative things, past experiences that have happened. Hence, like, let's just say alcohol. We want to numb out because we haven't resolved some issues inside of us. And so that forms a bad habit, even though possibly our conscious mind is thinking, I don't want to do this. I would rather do something else than get drunk and hang over. I don't know. So, another thing to think of is I think of boundaries, for instance. So, when you have good experiences with boundaries, you were brought up or you're around people that have good, healthy, strong boundaries, you tend to, you know, adopt those same things. If you have a lot of past experiences, you're around people that don't, they have weak boundaries themselves and you've adopted that, or it's just caused you to not understand what healthy boundaries are. Same thing. You will adapt to that. And that is what your body and your mind stores, even though your conscious mind wants to say, hey, no, you're in my personal space bubble, but you stand there with a really close talker, breathing in your face because you have such weak boundaries and you're too scared to say something. It might offend that person, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you were taught from a young age, excuse me, you're in my bubble a little bit. Let's just create a little space, that's kind, healthy, loving boundary. It all results from these stored emotions and these stored feelings. So, with that said, I do use an ask method when I coach, and it's the ASK. The A starts with awareness. So we kind of talked about a little bit of awareness with positive affirmations and your stored, thoughts and all of that in your subconscious mind, and just with the boundaries and your good habits from the past experiences and this and that. So we're kind of creating some awareness around things, right? And so, yes, this is all tying back into those positive affirmations. And with that awareness, we have to do things. We have to be aware of our thoughts. We have to be aware of what we're feeling. We have to be aware of how we're behaving and acting and what's driving that. Oh, when I feel this way, I tend to, lash out. When I feel that way, I tend to hide away from people. When I feel this way, I procrastinate, and we start to have this awareness that can help us get off the path that we're on, if it's not a path we want to be on, and get us back on the path that we do want to be on. And then that is the S, that's the solutions. So we can figure out what to do, how we want to behave. But the one I really want to talk about today is the K in the ask method, and that stands for knowledge, specifically empowered knowledge. And so what that basically means is it is knowledge that increases your emotional intelligence. I'm having a hard time saying that word today. I need to increase my emotional intelligence. Anyway, it rewires your brain and empowers you to get unstuck. So that way you can take inspired action that moves you forward. So that is knowledge, right? You gain some wisdom, you gain some knowledge through that awareness. We see things about ourselves that will help us, and we see things about ourselves that are hurting us. And we can use that knowledge to empower us to then make different choices, think different thoughts, handle and manage and regulate our emotions so that we do think and behave in the ways that are helpful to us. So I hope you're following along, right? Because your empowered knowledge, which is what we're going to turn our positive affirmations into. So think of this: positive affirmations equal empowered knowledge, your EK, because your empowered knowledge is a vehicle that empowers you to make these transformative changes in your life. And you do this all by yourself by asking yourself powerful questions that turn into new beliefs. So you can wipe out those stored beliefs in your subconscious mind, bring in some new ones. This is the whole point of rewiring your brain, creating these new neural pathways, and rewiring our subconscious. Yes, you are capable of this. I promise you. You have so many brain cells that you haven't used and you're going to use, and you can create more. It's pretty cool. Think of it like this. It's like gutting out your storage unit. Pretend you have a big storage unit. Well, you do have a big storage unit in your head. But in your subconscious mind is stored, lots of like just old, rotten, self-defeating stuff. So you want to clear all that stuff out of the dumpster or throw it into the dumpster, and you want to replace it with all the necessary tools and beliefs and all of that good stuff that you need to empower you to really thrive in life. And the whole point of positive affirmations is to get you to do this, but we can't stop with just saying an affirmation. There are further steps. And I know in the self help industry, you hear of the work. You have to do the work. You have to do the work. And a lot of people are left thinking, well, what's the work? Tell me the secret. I'm telling you a secret of one things you can do. This is the work. It does take some work. You're worth working on. So, the importance of positive affirmations, yes, I do want to say that, but they can become toxic if you don't believe them. They're not going to help you. It'll hurt you. So, not that I need, I'm trying to be some negative Nelly, but you can't repeat, I'm brave, I'm lovable, I'm successful, I'm gorgeous, I'm smart, I can do this. You cannot just repeat that stuff a million times and then, say if you're saying I'm brave and then you cower away from taking any risk. Or you can't say, I am lovable, and then treat yourself like dirt. A lot of us do this like self punishment things. We deny ourselves of good things and we subject ourselves to things that are harmful to us. So you can't expect to say, I am lovable when you treat yourself awful. You don't treat yourself with love. So that's part of the work. If you want to say it, you've got to do something. Because we can say, I am brave, for instance, and the universe will respond. There is a higher power out there listening, and it will respond to you. It might give you ideas or it could present you with an opportunity. But if you don't take any action on those ideas that are popping in your head or on with the opportunities that are being presented to you, nothing will ever change. In time, you'll probably just feel worse about yourself. So when you're saying these positive affirmations, things start happening in the universe. But if we don't do something with it, there we stay stuck. So this is where we need to do a little bit of work, because I can repeat, I'm confident, I'm lovable, 100 times a day. But if my subconscious mind doesn't believe it, I won't do anything with it. And I will actually build resistance to the affirmation. So if you're saying these affirmations inside, you really are not embodying it and you don't believe it, you will build resistance to these affirmations and then they become toxic. So you've turned this positive affirmation into something toxic in your body because you feel like you've kind of let yourself down, right? You're kind of failing yourself. So when you utter your affirmations, think of it this way: your subconscious mind has something else stored in there. So if you feel like, I'm just going to take the brave one, for instance, you don't feel brave at all whatsoever. So that's your affirmation and you want to work on that. And you're just saying, I am brave, I am brave, I am brave, right? Your subconscious is going to argue with you and it's going to be like, no, we're not brave at all. You'll think about all the ways that you're not confident, you're not brave, and you're going to come up with all these reasons why you're not. Or like I said, I gave the example about about being lovable. I'm lovable, but you treat yourself horrible. Your subconscious mind knows that you do that. It has a pattern of doing that. It's always behaved that way, and it shows you every day we are not lovable. And so your subconscious mind is going to fight back and say, no, these are all the reasons we're not. See what we do to ourselves. So your subconscious mind is going to try to convince you that it's better to stay right where you are, keep you safe, which I know that seems backward, but there's some stored fears in there. And it says, if you stay small, this is protecting us. When your conscious mind is the one that's fighting against that and knows that, no, definitely this is not true. So, what we need to do is focus on gaining knowledge that empowers us to take action that supports those affirmations. So, yes, it's good to keep those affirmations going, but we need to gain some knowledge that will empower us to really do something with those affirmations. And the fastest way to increase our knowledge that empowers us to turn those affirmations into our truth is to reframe them into questions. So instead of saying, I'm brave, I have strong boundaries, I love my body, whatever it is, we're going to say instead, why am I brave? Why do I have strong boundaries? Or where do I have strong boundaries? And why do I love my body? We're going to ask ourselves questions, because when we ask ourselves questions, we have less resistance because our guard is down and we can simply be curious. We're asking ourselves a question, why am I lovable? Well, because I have a generous heart, because I am thoughtful, because I'm patient. And you start to come up, with all of these reasons that back it up. So just like we always like to be right, I know everybody says, no, it doesn't bother me. I could care less if I'm always wrong. But, there's a lot of arguments in the world. Everybody wants to be right, right? Everybody wants to be right. But so does your subconscious mind. Okay. The thing is we can outsmart our subconscious mind, because our subconscious mind is going to want to keep us safe. That's all it cares about. If I didn't mention this in the beginning, your subconscious mind just thinks one word: survive, 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 survive. So it sees the world as pretty scary based on any of those experiences that you had in the past that hurt you. It stores that stuff. And we're going to affirm your subconscious mind that it's okay. We can release those beliefs. They are limiting us, they're blocking us, they're hurting us. It allows us not to take risks and show up as who we are. And our inner critic flares up because of your subconscious mind, and you're full of all this self doubt and all this kind of stuff. So we are going to outsmart our subconscious mind. And we don't want to do it by arguing with it and by demanding it believes basically a bunch of affirmations, because just sitting there saying, I am lovable, I am lovable, I am lovable, if you really don't feel it inside, your subconscious mind is going to argue back, right? It's going to get defensive. Your subconscious mind gets defensive, just like we all get when someone tries to prove us wrong, right? So you don't need to argue and fight with your subconscious mind and create some big war inside yourself. It will not help you. It will hurt you. And it takes those positive affirmations and turns them toxic, because your subconscious mind is thinking and repeating, or your conscious mind, sorry, can think and repeat, I'm amazing, I'm smart, I'm determined, I'm capable, I've got this. And your subconscious mind is like, no, we already have our beliefs. We're not budging. We're not changing. Change is really scary and it's a threat to our existence. So we need to speak to our subconscious, prove it some evidence, just like we would a small child. And this is a little bit of inner child work, whereas you, with your conscious mind, are the parent, and you are going to treat your subconscious mind, the scared one that stores all these old beliefs, like the child. And we are going to just walk it through how we can get rid of all those scary things, the monster under our bed or hiding in our closet. We can release those, let it go, and let your subconscious know that you're safe. And we're going to give it all the reasons why. So just like a parent would tell a child, the doors are locked, I'm here, I'm right downstairs, I'll leave your bathroom light on. We're going to prove all of these ways. And we're going to, when we outsmart our subconscious mind, this is how we open up those new pathways. And we do this with our curiosity, which is easy. This can be fun. And what we do is allow the subconscious then to go to work to show us the answers to our questions, which prove our affirmations is truth. Bottom line, the more you ask and answer your questions, the less internal resistance you're going to feel. And soon you're going to be like, well, geez, I really am confident. I really am powerful. I am grateful. I'm valuable. I really do forgive and let go. Whatever it is that you're working on, whatever affirmation, all of a sudden, because you have asked yourself these questions, proven to yourself and your subconscious mind that yes, indeed, you are right. You show it the evidence, you embody that. You do start to believe it. And you can look at all the ways that you already are those things that you want to be, which gives you that momentum to propel you forward in your behavior. And yes, that changes your emotions and it really gets that ball rolling. So you are acting and doing and being exactly what you want to be. And you basically are the one that allows these new beliefs to take root because your conscious mind is right there supporting it. The biggest thing to remember is three things: your thoughts, your behavior, and your emotions. So those are all entailed because all three, when you think of how do I need to change things in my life, you have to consider all three. You have to consider your thoughts, but you can't just stop there. You can't just think those positive affirmations. It has to create some sort of behavior change. You have to take some action, and it's probably different from what you're doing now. And you have to manage those emotions. If it's scary, if it's uncomfortable, you're fearing disappointment or rejection or failure or whatever it is, you have to be there to support those emotions. Otherwise, that's what causes us to give up. And so, your real actionable work here. Here's your work. Here's what we're going to do with these positive affirmations. Couple different ways you can do this. You can get pen and paper out and you can write down a few affirmations, maybe 5 of them or so. And then you're going to turn them into questions and you're going to answer with multiple examples and leave these open ended. Keep asking yourself, what else? What else? What else? So keep asking and answering until these affirmations start to become absolute, starts to become your truth, your mantra. And just remember, the more you ask and answer these questions, the faster it does take root in your subconscious mind. If you want to take this a step further, you can either go straight to your voice memo on your phone and record yourself, or maybe you do want to take pen and paper first, but record yourself, your own voice, repeating these questions. Why am I confident? And then you answer, I am confident because I showed up in the meeting today and presented my idea. Boom, right there. And then just keep answering all of these ways that you are confident. When you hear your own voice repeating to yourself, it takes root and it becomes a part of who you are. Your subconscious mind is so susceptible. First thing in the morning when you wake up, and first or right before you go to bed at night is it's highly, it's really good at absorbing. It's very impressionable at these states. So those are great times to do this. This is why a lot of times you hear people say, journal first thing in the morning. But right as you get up, right before you go to bed is very powerful. And I challenge you, do this exercise. Ready, drum roll, 3 months. Do it for 3 months. Let this become addicting. If you want to truly change, you have to do this. This is the behavior change. This is the behavior part. You can't just think this stuff. You have to act on it. And when you act and think on it, your emotions and your feelings about yourself, about your world, your relationships, your professional life, whatever it is, they get on board too. Because as you rewire the subconscious mind, you just automatically start to feel and act differently because you believe your affirmations and you become more of what you are affirming. So if you want a few examples, I did a couple. This is hopefully just to get your ball rolling and then you are on your own. I love this exercise. Pretty soon, this can be automatic, running in your head all the time, backing yourself up. Like we need to back ourselves up in this world. So I know I've done the whole I'm confident one. And then another one, I did was I'm brave. And for instance, this podcast, I had to be really brave. I think this is my 94th episode. A few of them were pretty easy and breezy and whatever, but it's a challenge to throw yourself out there and open yourself up to the world and ramble on, and there's always gonna be that fear of rejection and criticism. I'm not gonna lie, but you know what? The brave thing to do is this is something at the end of the day I love to do. If I gave it up, I would be so upset with myself. I would be so disappointed, and it's not always easy, but every single time I do it, I can say, "Why am I brave? Oh, I'm brave because I threw a podcast out there today. I hit publish and I didn't go back and listen to it 1,000 times and cringe over everything I said, every word I I muffled up, or how many times I said like or or because I'm human." So the next one, why am I worthy? Because in coaching, I hear that one a lot. People have a hard time just their own self-worth. So I ask myself that one a lot too. Why am I worthy? And my number one answer is I'm worthy because God made me. He loves me, and I am here to fulfill his purpose for me. And maybe this is his purpose. I sure hope so, because here I am, and I hope you get something out of it. But a few more to prompt you. I'm not going to answer these because you're big and you can do this and it's your life. But I wrote a few common affirmations down, and I'm hoping that you can come up with tons more and just keep this going every day for the rest of your life. At least pick one. And some of them are, why am I beautiful? Why am I smart? Why am I persistent? Why am I successful? Why am I capable? Why do I believe in myself? Why am I valuable? Why am I a client magnet? Why am I trustworthy? Why am I thoughtful? Why am I wealthy? Why am I happy? Why am I strong? Why am I enough? Why am I secure in myself? Why am I good at setting healthy boundaries? Why am I responsible for myself? Why am I at peace? Why am I grateful? This is a super powerful way to get rid of the old, increase your emotional intelligence, and, forget the book smart stuff, right? This emotional intelligence stuff gets you places in life, I promise you. So, hey, that is my spiel for today. As always, I'm rooting for you. Be real, be raw, be authentic.
Hey, thanks for listening to Authentically Raw. I'm excited to announce that my book, Results Daily Planning and Self Development, is for sale on Amazon and on my website at jamieberris.com. It's the perfect blend of a daily planner with hourly schedule. It has wellness journal prompts to help you develop yourself personally, professionally, and relationally while strengthening your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health and well being. It's the ultimate life planner. It guides you along your journey to design and manifest the life you desire with clarity and confidence, one day at a time. Also, on my website, jamieberris.com, you can click on the freebie tab and download a free ebook. It is the best of the best of the planner and wellness prompts. It has goal setting, habit formation, vision boards, you name it, it's in there. About 50 or so pages. Download it for free and it is yours. If you leave a review of this podcast or the book, snap a screenshot, email it to me, jamie@jamieberris.com, and you will receive a free coaching session. As always, I'm rooting for you. Be real, be raw, be authentic.